Chosen one, I know you've been through this, the feeling of speaking with an open heart, trying to guide someone you know is lost, only to be ignored, ridiculed, or even attacked. The truth is, when you bring light to those accustomed to living in darkness, their immediate reaction is fear and rejection. For those hiding in the shadows of their own ignorance, light is not a blessing, it's a threat. It exposes all the falsehoods they've built around themselves and forces them to face truths they've long avoided. That's why your advice isn't just dismissed, it's often treated as an offense. These people don't reject you for who you are, but for what you represent. Your wisdom, your clarity, your ability to see beyond their illusions are like thorns to an ego built on lies. When you offer advice, you're not just speaking words, you're touching wounds they refuse to heal. And since it's easier to ignore pain than confront it, they'd rather turn away, mock, or even lash out at you. This resistance you feel isn't a sign that you're wrong, it's actually proof that you've struck something deep. But don't let it shake you, because deep down, they know you're right. Their fear isn't of your wisdom but of what it demands: change. Change means admitting they were wrong, that they've been trapped in illusions and deceptions that kept them stagnant. For many, it's more comfortable to remain in the shadows than to face the light you bring. To follow your advice would mean letting go of everything they believe to be true. And that, chosen one, requires a courage many simply don't have. You need to remember that your mission is not to force anyone out of the darkness. Your light is here to illuminate the path, not to drag anyone along it. True transformation only happens when the heart is ready. Keep shining, keep speaking, because even if your words are rejected today, the seed has been planted. And when their lives become unbearably dark, it might be your light they finally seek. Until then, don't be discouraged by those who reject your advice. You were sent to illuminate, not to be understood by everyone. Chosen one, your wisdom is a force that cuts through masks and illusions, exposing truths that many cannot, or will not, admit to themselves. When you share your truth, it resonates like a beam of light piercing the darkness where they've hidden for so long. Your words are like a sharp blade slicing through the veil of illusions they've woven to justify their choices, failures, and comfort zones. It's no surprise that your ideas are often met with intense rejection. Your wisdom threatens the false world they've built around themselves. Most of these people live in a deep state of denial. They erect walls around their egos, protecting their limiting beliefs as if they were treasures. But deep down, those beliefs are nothing more than chains keeping them imprisoned. When you speak, your voice makes those walls tremble. The light you radiate exposes the cracks in the prison they've constructed for themselves. That's why they react so defensively, because accepting your wisdom would mean confronting the harsh truth that they've spent their lives believing in lies. And that revelation is devastating for those who pride themselves on knowing everything. Chosen ones, your presence forces them to see that there are paths beyond the ones they've stubbornly walked for years. But admitting this requires humility, and pride is one of the hardest barriers to break. So, instead of opening their eyes to new possibilities, they choose to belittle you, dismiss your wisdom, or even ridicule you. Understand that this reaction is a reflection of their desperation to keep the fragile bubble they live in intact. Because if your light is true, then everything they've believed until now might be a grand illusion, and that's a truth many simply lack the strength to face. But don't let their resistance make you doubt your mission. Your wisdom is like a lit lamp in a dark room. It reveals what was hidden, even if the light is initially painful for the eyes of those who have lived so long in the shadows. Continue to be that revealing force. Because even if they refuse to accept your words today, what you've brought to light can no longer be buried. The seed of doubt about their own illusion has already been planted, and one day, when the walls of their false world begin to crumble, it will be your wisdom they remember. Chosen one, have you noticed the paradox that often the very people you try to help are the ones who attack you the most? Why would someone hate the person reaching out to offer advice, to illuminate their path, and to ease their burdens? The answer is simple, yet painful: envy, a dark energy that corrodes hearts and minds. Deep down, they feel you possess something they desperately desire but don't know how to attain, whether it's your clarity, your strength, or your connection to truth. Your presence reminds them of how far they are from what they could be. The envy they feel isn't just for who you are, but for what you've achieved internally. They see that you've walked paths they didn't dare to tread, that you've faced your own shadows and emerged stronger and wiser. For them, this is unbearable. While you reflect courage and authenticity, they remain trapped in a cycle of self-deception and fear. Instead of drawing inspiration from your light, they choose to try and extinguish it, hoping that by diminishing you, they won't have to confront their own flaws and insecurities. When you offer advice, they may hear your words, but what truly ignites their anger is what those words represent, a constant reminder of everything they avoid facing within themselves. The truth is, by rejecting your guidance, they're attempting to shield themselves from the pain of realizing they could be more, that they could grow, but have chosen to stay in the same place. It's easier to project that pain onto you than to admit that change starts within them. That's why their attacks, criticism, and disdain aren't really about you, they're about their struggle with the negativity their own words reflect. Do not let this hidden envy deter you from your mission, chosen one. Remember that your light unsettles those who have yet to find their own. And often, this very resistance is proof that you're on the right path. Even if they shut themselves off from your advice today, the seeds of light you plant may grow when they finally tire of the darkness they live in. Keep speaking, keep helping, because one day, when their envy fades and their pain becomes too much to bear, they might recognize that you are the guide they tried to ignore. Chosen ones, you need to understand that one of the hardest lessons to learn is that not everyone who seems to need help is ready to receive it. Many times, you feel an inner calling to reach out, to share wise advice with those lost in their own doubts. But if you're not careful, this impulse can drain your energy and leave you exhausted. The truth is, by trying to help those who don't want to be helped, you end up offering your energy to a bottomless pit, and all you get in return is resistance, ingratitude, or even hostility. That's why it's essential to learn how to protect your energy and discern where your light is truly worth investing. To protect your energy, it's crucial to establish clear boundaries. This doesn't mean closing your heart or becoming insensitive, but rather understanding that not every battle is yours to fight. These people need to go through their own experiences and hit rock bottom before they're ready to accept any form of help. Respecting that process is also an act of compassion because by preserving your energy, you remain strong for when you encounter someone truly open to change. Remember, prioritizing your own peace is not selfish, it's wisdom. Chosen ones, you know that helping others doesn't mean carrying their burdens. You can offer a torch, but it's not your responsibility to light the path for those who insist on keeping their eyes closed. Learn to recognize the signs. If you feel drained, if your words are falling on deaf ears, it might be time to step back. Save your energy for those who are ready to receive it with an open heart. You are chosen to spread light, yes, but also to protect the sacred flame that burns within you. Because in the end, your mission is to illuminate, not to get lost in the shadows of those who still refuse to see. Chosen one, what many don't realize is that the greatest prison they live in isn't made of walls, but of their own ego. Their ego is a weight that keeps them trapped in darkness, unable to see beyond their own limitations. When you try to offer a new perspective, sharing advice that could transform their lives, their ego reacts like a cornered animal. For the ego, accepting that someone might know more or that there's another way to live means admitting they might be wrong. And for those who use pride and negativity as their shield, that's a blow too hard to bear. This attachment to the ego is what holds them back from growth. They prefer to stay in control, even if that control is just an illusion that stifles them, rather than surrender to the possibility that there's something greater beyond what they know. That's why, when you come with your light and wisdom, their reaction is often defensive, distrustful, or even hostile. They feel that accepting your advice would require them to let go of the persona they've built for themselves. And for many, that mask is the only thing keeping them standing in an already chaotic world. Deep down, the ego is a defense mechanism, but it's also an anchor that keeps them stuck in destructive patterns. It's like they're clinging to a rope on a sinking ship, choosing to go down with it rather than let go and allow a new current to carry them. When you try to help, what you're really doing is inviting them to release that rope. But for many, the fear of the unknown is greater than the pain of continuing to drown. They reject your hand because, to the ego, letting go feels like death, and few are willing to go through that symbolic death to be reborn into something greater. This is the message you needed to hear, chosen ones. Understand that their resistance isn't about you, it's about the internal battle they're fighting with their own ego. You cannot break those chains for them, it's a choice only they can make. Your mission is to be a tool of God, not a forceful liberator. Continue to spread your divine gift and sow truth, but know that some hearts will only open when they're ready to let go of the weight of their own ego. Until then, protect your energy and move forward, because your light is far too precious to be wasted on battles they're not ready to face. Chosen ones, you've felt it many times, some people simply aren't ready to receive the light you carry. No matter how much your heart wants to help everyone around you, it's not possible to illuminate those who are determined to remain in darkness. Your mission, after all, is one of love and wisdom, and it's essential to learn how to direct your energy toward those who are truly open to change. There are souls out there longing for light, hungry for a word of guidance, a counselor to lead them through the darkness they find themselves in. These are the souls that need you. It's easy to fall into the trap of trying to convince those who insist on closing themselves off, wasting your precious energy in futile attempts to open the eyes of those who refuse to see. But remember, chosen one, you were not sent here to save everyone. Your purpose is to plant seeds in fertile soil, where your light can grow and bring about true transformation. When you persist in trying to illuminate those who reject your wisdom, you not only exhaust yourself but also miss the opportunity to reach those who are truly ready to rise. Focus on those willing to listen, that's where your light can have the greatest impact. Sometimes, your ego will make you believe that you must keep trying, that if you just push a little harder, you'll be able to reach those who reject you. But this is a dangerous illusion that will only drain your energy and pull you off your path. Your love for helping others may prevent you from accepting that not everyone is ready to awaken. This doesn't mean you failed or that your light is insufficient, it simply means that everyone has their own timing for awakening. By respecting others' pace, you also honor your own process, allowing yourself to move forward toward those who truly need you now. Chosen ones, keep your focus on those who approach you with open hearts and eyes filled with hope. These are the ones who will truly value your presence and make good use of the wisdom you share. By concentrating your light where it's welcomed, you not only protect your energy but also maximize the impact of your divine purpose in this world. Let those who reject you today follow their own path. They too will have their moment of awakening, but until then, direct your light to those who are ready to receive it. This is your true mission. Chosen ones, your belief in your divine intuition has brought you here. If you feel you are chosen and that your energy needs protection, join this channel. Comment 777 and subscribe to the channel to receive more videos. Now, let's enter the silence.